Hey, so I decided that it's time for yet another Auxlang. Why? Just for fun. Will it have real use? Maybe, I don't know yet. Let's have fun. Disclaimer: as of now, I don't want to start a new fully fledged conlang and a community, but if it happens, it happens. There are at least 100 Auxlangs out there which are already finished and quite good. Check them out first. You can watch this playlist. So I will explain how this will work. I will present to you different characteristics of a language, and then you will be able to vote on it. As easy as that. I will make a Discord server for that too, so we can work on the details. Everything will be democratically decided, but before we vote, I'm going to give some pro and contra arguments. Just like in Switzerland. Before talking about the language, I will talk about the goals of an Auxlang. Auxlangs should be an auxiliary language, in this case for the whole world. They should be usable for communication on a basic and a complex level. It will be used when ordering food in a different country and for communicating complex topics like rocket science. Culture is always a hard topic for Auxlangs. Why isn't English a good Auxlang? Maybe because it spread due to colonialism, well, and because it is hella irregular. Usually the first thing to do is to decide the phonology, but I want to decide something else first. Should the language be a priori, which means all words and grammar are totally made up, or should it be a posteriori? A posteriori Auxlangs include Pandunia, Esperanto, Elephant, and so on. By the way, Tokipono is also an a posteriori language. And the biggest a priori language is Kotava. The good thing about a priori languages is that they are totally culturally neutral. But now to the bad things: they are usually harder to learn because every word is made up and the grammar can be arbitrary. But this doesn't mean that a posteriori languages are way easier to learn. Furthermore, learnability isn't always the most important thing. One thing to note about a posteriori languages is that it's always hard to decide which languages should be the basis for it. By using too many Latin and Greek and other European languages words, you make it Eurocentric. By trying to make an exact mix of the world's languages, you will end up leaving something out anyway. For example, Tokima tried to represent all the languages of Earth, but didn't perfectly achieve this goal. Esperanto is usually a good Eurocentric example, and Pandunia tries to incorporate all major languages. You will find a way to vote in the description. Now to phonology. Which sounds should be used? Here you can see which sounds are usually used in major world languages. Let's start with the consonants. The bare minimum would be y, k, l, m, n, p, st, w. Most of these sounds are pronounceable by everyone on this planet. Then we have a few problematic sounds. B is similar to p, r to l, d to t, g to k, and v to w. So you can either decide to keep the difference between each pair or merge them together. For example, Arabic has only the b sound and Mandarin only has a p sound. Especially v and w are problematic because pronouncing v is difficult in Arabic, Mandarin, and also a bit hard in English. Here you have all sounds that are pronounceable in a majority of languages: m, k, y, p, w, n, st, b, l, h, g, n, d. But remember that h is hard to pronounce for French people. Wait, is that a pro argument? For the vowels, you can basically decide between a 3-vowel system, a, I, U, or a 5-vowel system, a, E, I, O, U, which is still pronounceable by the majority of people. Well, here you have the options. The wide variety of sounds would be a phonetic inventory similar to Esperanto, Pannonia, or any other complex Auxlang. It would have some sounds like sh and all of the above. But remember one thing, when a language is taught to children, it is usually pronounceable despite their native language lacking some sounds. I can pronounce the TH, and my native language doesn't have a TH. So proud. Next time we will talk about phonotactics, what sounds can come after another, and so on. Please vote mindfully after you have thought about everything for a while. Do widzenia.